Excuse me. Good evening, fam. How you guys doing? Tribe, we are here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be Greenleaf Season 3, Episode 7. Yes, we are late, but we are here, okay? Alright. Excuse me, y'all. So this episode starts off, we see Grace, and, Gigi. That is Grace. I'm sorry. Sophia and Gigi. And Sophia is still talking about how she doesn't really, she just processing. She doesn't think she believes in God anymore. And she just doesn't want to do the little angels, and she's asking her mom to get her out of it because the church is just not taking no for an answer because she was just so good with the kids. And she was like, can't Zora do it? Can't somebody else do it? And her mama was like, good and well Zora can't do it. Like it just. But Gigi is also dealing with some PTSD because she's actually looking at the pictures from the murder of that woman when she murdered her husband, and she's flashing back to what happened between her and her uncle. And so they're dealing with that. Charity's still in her room tripping. Father comes in there to let her know, look, we're getting ready to have some ice cream and cake, for Zora. It's her 18th birthday. It'd be nice if you could make it down there, and she was like, for breakfast? And he said, well, your mama still got Zora on 7 o'clock lockdown, so this is the only time we could do it. And she talking about something, she need to get it together. No, she said, when is she going to get it together? Her father said, when are you? So then, of course, she throws it back at him. Well, when you moving out? He said, you know what? If my presence bothers you this much, then I'll roll out. She was like, no, Daddy, I'm sorry. And they have a little moment, but Charity need to just really get it together. Like, I'm going to need you to really, I don't know, go to Ayala weekend camp, weekend retreat or something. I don't know, but get it together, boo. Get it together. So, it's Zora's birthday. She's turning 18. And Jacob, the mom, and Winky came over. Clarissa came over to sing happy birthday, and they had some cake and everything for her. Like, I think it was coffee cake or something. But let me say this to y'all. Now I understand what she was talking about last week when she said it won't be long soon. Because she was like, I'm turning 18, and when I turn 18, I'm going to be out. Why didn't the rest of them figure that shit out? Now, Clarissa sort of figured it out, but why didn't the rest of them figure out that this girl is only weeks away from her 18, and that doesn't mean you allow her to be bad or exhibit bad behavior, but that does mean, like Clarissa said, we might need to soften just a little bit, or she's just going to totally be gone, and there's going to be nothing that we can do. Clarissa was actually right about this one. Again, I'm not saying we excuse the bad behavior, but ain't nobody think about taking that girl to a therapist and letting her have some like, ain't nobody think about that. It was just going to be Grandma and Jesus. Anyway, so she all happy because it's her 18th birthday, and Carissa had gotten her tickets to see Hamilton. Grandma talking about some, Lady Mae talking about some, it's a shame. Everybody was like, what you mean it's a shame? She was like, I mean, we're not going to reward bad behavior. She is still on punishment. Now, I 120% understand her being on punishment, and I 120% understand her feeling like she's missing something. However, I will say this. One, it was her birthday. And two, Hamilton tickets. Hamilton tickets. Motherfucker, I'm still trying to get Hamilton tickets. They came to D.C. and the tickets, it was ridiculous. And, like, the tickets were ridiculous. And I'm still trying to get Hamilton tickets. So I just felt like that was a bit much. And maybe that's me. Y'all tell me if y'all agree or disagree. I mean, I know Zora's been a real pain in the ass and a real bitch. But I just feel like Hamilton tickets. I don't know. I might have had to do it's a one night only kind of thing. First thing tomorrow morning, we right back up at the crack of dawn doing Bible study. Like, I don't know. So anyway, I think that was the nail in the coffin. I think that was it for Zora. If Zora wasn't thinking about leaving before, she definitely was leaving. That was it for her. Back at the church. So here we go. So we starting to see the cracks with the whole Bishop Lady Mae thing. I think Bishop realizes that even though she's promising to leave after her day with Lady Mae, he knows she ain't going nowhere. He knows she got some shit up. She's scheming on something. And so he done decided that he gonna plan his golden jubilee or silver jubilee or whatever the same day as A Day with Lady May. Now, why are you making the church choose? I don't know. Like, if I were a member of this church and y'all just announced that y'all are getting a divorce, and then A Day with Lady May just got all this hype with, Francine and all of this, and then you announce that you're going to have an event, like, to me, I would be like, yeah, this about to get ugly. Because it was no reason for that, Bishop. And to make people choose, you might lose out on that one, especially since she's bringing such a heavy hitter to her event. So they're planning the event, and they realize that Francine's assistant is a little letting them know, maybe you don't know who you're dealing with, but y'all are trying to reserve this little hotel that y'all already always have. She said that's not going to be enough space because maybe you don't understand that my boss can sell out arenas, right? And Lady Mae was like, you know what? Maybe we should have it here at the church. That's when she found out about the bishop and his little silver jubilee. And so she goes to Bishop to go talk about it, but she really mad about Gigi using the defense fund to represent this murderess, as she calls it. And of course, the Golden Jubilee thing comes up too. And while they're there, Bishop done been duped hook, line, and sinker by Miss Cross, because he done went to Lady Mae talking about we need to use some of our personal finance, some of our joint finances, so that we can invest it in cryptocurrency to get us out of this. And let me tell you something. Percy ain't the only one that's been Googling Miss Cross, because as soon as he said cryptocurrency, Lady Mae knew exactly who he was talking about. She was like, oh, is this Rochelle helping us? Is this coming from Rochelle? And first of all, she ain't giving you a dime to give to Miss Cross for no reason. And he was like, look, I done already sunk most of my personal money. I said, oh shit. When he said that, I said, oh shit. And then he said, we just need a little bit more to get us where we need to go. And I just need to use some of our money to help us get out of debt. And she was like, nope, no way, no shape, no form. It ain't happening. Sir, sorry, and goodbye. He even promised to get Gigi to drop the murderess if she would do it. And Lady Mae was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So Gigi goes to visit the chick in jail. Were y'all the only ones that was surprised that she was white? Because I was surprised that she was white. Not saying that there's a problem with white women. I'm just saying I was surprised that she was white. She's understandably distrustful of Gigi's motives and why she's there. And she lets her know, look, I don't believe in no God, and, I don't know why you here. Now, the DA going to roll up on Gigi and basically give her a veiled threat to say, look, I need you to drop this case, or maybe I might need to look into the situation with you and your uncle, because, I dismissed it, but maybe I need to look a little closer. He truly feels like this woman is guilty, and he don't want Gigi and her money coming in there interrupting any of it. So, we see Percy call Charity. Now, I don't know if if the bishop put Percy up to this or not, but he invites Charity to come sing at a funeral. And, she was like, look, I ain't trying to, I can't bring comfort to nobody because I need comfort myself. But he talked her into it. He sort of threatened her a little bit, but he did talk her into it. And I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. Did it feel a little creepy to y'all? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but did it feel a little off? It felt a little off to me. The bishop also called Percy, to talk to him about some things. We're going to find out what that was about a little bit later on. So, Carissa and Jacob are arguing. They were having a really bad argument at the church because Carissa feels like Jacob was wrong for not backing her up with the whole situation with Zora and the Hamilton tickets. Because when, Carissa tried to push back against Lady Mae, and she asked Jacob, she was like, Jacob, you agree with this? And Jacob was like, I do. She was like, you should have had my back. Like, and that's when Carissa tried to tell him. She was like, look, she's 18 now. She doesn't have to stay. She doesn't have to listen to us. She doesn't have to do anything we're asking her to do. And if we don't start treating her with a little softer hand, then it's going to be a problem. So then she throws in his face she throws the affair in his face again, talking about your mother clearly didn't do a good job with you because I had to straighten your ass up. But that's what people do when they argue. But of course, Jacob took that shit to heart. He got in his little feelings, and we're going to see how that gets him in bigger trouble later on. Your ass should have just went to the gym. He was mad, go blow off some steam at the gym. Anyway. Lady Mae and Bishop still beefing down to the church, honey. Lady Mae, she not only is she taking over the church for her day with Lady Mae, but now she's incurring extra bills because she's got this superstar coming, and they got to get security, and they got to pay for this and pay for that. And the bishop is like, what the hell? So he goes to confront Lady Mae, and again they get to arguing once again. Excuse me. And Lady Mae is being Lady Mae, and her, her very condescending, voice about, running, basically letting him know that letting her, y'all know what I'm trying to say, about running this church. Jacob. Tiffany Rosen, ain't that her name? Tiffany, what's the face wife, the former first lady. I think her name is Tiffany. She comes rolling through with some papers for him to sign, probably some more shit to set him up. And of course, she could tell he got an attitude, and she probably heard them arguing, right? So she gonna say, "What's wrong, Jacob?" He was like, "Nothing, I'm good." Now, I know when you in a bad mood, so you might as well go ahead and just tell me what's wrong. And he gonna say, "You ever, somebody just won't let you live down your when you did something wrong." So of course he in his feelings because Carissa done threw that damn affair in his face again. And so they get to talking and whatever, and y'all know what ends up happening, right? They get to kissing. Now the scene cut out, so it don't show that whether they did anything more than just kiss or not. It leaves you sort of up. It leaves it sort of up to your imagination. However, I tend to think some things went down in the DM more than just a kissy kiss, but I could be wrong. Gigi is still dealing with, her little PTSD with this whole situation, with this whole case. Charity sings and she enjoys it. I'm just going through till we get to the juice. So we see Bishop with Miss Cross, and Bishop done gave Miss Cross a check. She said, "Oh, you came up with some more cash." She was like, "Yeah." And I knew then, I said, he done emptied out them damn accounts. I said, "Bishop, now I've been rocking with you, Bishop. I've been rocking with you through a whole lot of this. But this one, I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you, Bishop. You wrong as the day is long." So he done gave so now he done gave her all of his money and all of the joint money between him and Lady Mae too. It's not going to be pretty. I told y'all what's going to happen. That's how Lady Mae going to come back into the fold, because she might be a whole lot of things, but what you're not going to do is you're not going to take her family down. Now, everybody might not agree with how she chooses to protect her family or interact with her family, but you ain't going to take her family down. That's not going to happen. So, what was I going to say? What happened next? Oh, Jacob go home and he guilty. He got that guilty look. He go in, he take a shower, and of course Carissa's all apologetic and she's saying, "I'm so sorry, that I shouldn't have thrown that in your face," which is what she would have said had your ass not messed around with old girl in your office. You just should have went to the gym, came home, and then you could have had sex with your wife. But no, you wanted to be a man and get in your feelings and do the exact thing she accused you of doing. I'll never understand that. You mad that she throwing it in your face, but then you turn around and do it again. The hell? That don't even make no sense. So they need money for the caterer. They go to Lady Mae. They say, "Lady Mae, look, we need this money for the caterer." The caterer said he needs it by close of business because for an order this large, he needs the money in advance. He can't just take a deposit. Lady Mae said, "Okay, no problem." She said, "Well, it's too late for us to cut a check from the church." Lady Mae said, "No problem. I'll just pay for it out of my account. The church can just reimburse me tomorrow. It's not a big deal." She goes over to her computer, honey. She goes into her account and she said, "What the?" Oh, oh, that's not. Oh, that's not right. And of course, both of the secretaries, Francine's personal assistant and what's her name, the little girl, but she ain't no little girl. Y'all know what I'm saying. Both of them standing there like, Lady May, is something wrong? She said it is. It's absolutely something wrong. And she puts them out the office and, Hunty, you probably could have fried an egg on her forehead. Because I know Lynn got that forehead. Could have fried an egg on it. So she goes home. And Bishop knew. You could see the look on his face. He knew. He knew she knew before she opened her mouth. Honey. She told him get his ass out today. He said, well, I've already talked to Percy and arranged that I'll be leaving tomorrow. She said, oh, no, 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 no. You were going to leave tonight. She said, you took money out of our account and gave it to that woman? Oh, no. No, 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 no. You will leave tonight. She said, and this time, sir, don't you leave a sock. Don't you leave a tie. Don't you leave a cufflink. Because you won't be coming back. I said, oh, shit. Oh, boy, boy, boy. Hunty. So, you see Bishop looking all pathetic, showing up at Percy's doorstep. And he opened the door. And Percy gives him that look like, I thought you said tomorrow. And he was just like, don't even say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just let it go. And that lets you know a friend, because he did. He didn't even say nothing else. He just took the suitcase from him and showed him where to go. But I got a question. Are they living at the funeral home? Because that looked like the funeral home. Are they living at the funeral home? I couldn't live at the funeral home. I don't think I could live there. Just dead bodies in the basement. I don't know if I could do that. Because it looked like a house, but then there's a part that, the way that hallway they were going down, it looked like a funeral home. Anyway, yeah, I couldn't do that. I mean, I guess I could if I had no choice, but given the option, I couldn't do that. Sophia finally breaks down, y'all. She finally, and she said exactly what everybody knows that she was thinking. It's not that she doesn't love God. She just can't understand why God would allow this to happen to her. And how can she believe in his word because she feels like he's a liar? So she still believes in God. She just her faith is broken in God. She no longer trusts God. She no longer believes in God. But she still loves. She still knows that God exists. Like, she ain't turned into an atheist, but she is just not. She just can't accept, understand is the word, why, in her mind, why God allowed this to happen to her. She just can't accept that. So, but she's tearing up the Bible, honey. She's flushing it down now, I don't know why she was flushing it down the toilet. That's going to stop the toilet up. I don't know what that was about. It was dramatic, And her mother was like, look, don't tell. Your grandfather gave you that bottle. She said, one day you're going to feel differently and you're going to regret this. One day you're going to process all of these feelings and you're going to regret that you destroyed that your grandfather gave you. So, but they have a moment, and and that's when you see it's not that she no longer loves God. She just can't process it, and she can't believe that somebody who claimed to love her would do this to her. And if God loved her, he wouldn't have done this to her. And that is so valid. Like, I think we've all been there. People of faith, we've all had those moments where you're like, God, why would you let this happen to me? Why would you allow these things to go on? I think we've all had that moment. And some are stronger than others, because some moments are deeper than others. But yeah, I think we've all been there and done that. Last but not least, honey, Lady May come home. She go up in the Zora room, and Zora is skipping around her room, going through her closet. I thought that Carissa had come over there and told her she was taking her to that damn Hamilton show. And she just is skipping through. She's packing up. She's throwing stuff in the bag. Lady May said, well, what are you doing? You got all these clothes. She said, I know. I just don't know what to take with me. I just can't choose what to take. And she said, what do you mean what to take? She said, I just don't know. And Zora is and she's loving it. She's eating up every minute of it. And she's just skipping around, and she's just yes, I don't know what to do. And she opens up her suitcase, and she's putting clothes in her suitcase. And Lady May said, well, where are you going? She said, I'm leaving. She said, what you mean you're leaving? She said, you're not going anywhere. She said, oh, I'm 18. I'm going. She said, well, when? She said, in about 10 minutes. Honey, she finished packing up that suitcase and she rolled her happy ass right on out that room. Now, on the other side of town, Carissa and Jacob finally decided that it's time to bring their daughter home. They said, you know what? We're going to bring her home. We're going to deal with whatever it is that we need to deal with. We're going to bring her here. And so he said, come on, let's go get our girl. So they on their way to go pick old girl up. No, girl done made arrangements to roll up out of there. So I'm sure you know, Mr. Punch Her in the Face will be there to pick her up because this has all been arranged, you know. But honey, she is 18. It ain't shit. But my thing is, let her go. Let her go. Let her fall on her face. Let it happen. But be there for her when she falls. Because y'all know this ain't going to end up nowhere. You've been trying to warn her. You've tried to tell her. You've tried to beat it out of her. You tried to punish it out of her. It's not going anywhere. So you know what? Hard head make for a soft behind. But as her family, be there for her when she falls. Because she's going to fall. Y'all know that boy don't mean her no good. I'm really surprised he's still there, to be honest with you. I'm surprised he's still even really fucking with her. Because he seemed like the kind of person that would just move on to the next. So I'm really surprised that he's even, you know, because I thought last week when she finally got him on the phone that that basically he was going to be a, you know, what you want, why you calling me kind of thing. But I guess not. So anyway, y'all, that's pretty much where this ends up. So we're going to see where we pick up this week, honey.